cherche, si vous voulez, ce que j'appelle la poésie de la vie. La poésie, c'est d'être pleinement soi-même avec les gens qu'on aime, avec une communauté. Et quand vous avez cette poésie, vous êtes heureux. La poésie, c'est d'être pleinement soi-même avec des gens qu'on aime, avec une communauté. Et quand vous avez cette poésie, vous êtes heureux.
Voilà. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Hello, Keshab. Hello, Jenny. Bonjour. Oh, been a long time being live. I mean, I was live yesterday, but in public. So, figured out it's probably a good idea to start back from the ground and look at the big picture again. Can you confirm me everything working fine? Where is... yeah, it is. Seems to be working fine. Hello, Spaboku. Yes, good. So if you follow me, you have been following me for a bit, you already know, but that's my macro count for Bitcoin. Hasn't changed for a long time. I mean, it is at least my main count. There is always a few alternatives we can talk about, but this is the main idea. Staying with that. A reminder, because a long time since I did that, but the idea here, just looking at, of course, doing the sub count, I did, but just looking at RSI here, we can see 1, 2, and a third spike here, really in overbought, and going not in oversold, just in the 50. That's the main idea that make me think we have an impulse here, a second impulse on this move, and here we are on the third impulse, so the fifth wave. As you can see, we already topped out into a boat, so yeah, one could say 5 is finished here. I wouldn't say it's wrong. I just think that as Bitcoin is becoming more professional, just taking more time, and this fifth wave is getting more extended in terms of time, actually. And now on a weekly, we can see kind of the same thing here. For this fifth wave, we have 1, 2 time we go into overbought, so signal me just simply as I write it down here. I'm looking at this like yeah, 2 impulses and still missing the fifth, which will be a lower spike, as it will probably build a bearish divergence. But yeah, that's the idea. But doesn't have, you can just build a bearish divergence locally for the lesser degree. 3 and 5. Hey Jay, hey Kashab. Look, bought Ami assembly. Good. So yeah, I'm really staying with that idea. No reason to change again for now, unless there is an apocalypse tomorrow and we lose. What will be the invalidation for that count? I mean, simply top of wave 1, wave 4 cannot overlap wave 1, so let's say below 14k it will be invalidated. Do I expect to go that low? No, I don't. Yeah, for all we know, wave 4 could be finished already this locally. It could contact the lower band of not the lower, but this band of the log growth curve, and the why not the 200 moving average on the weekly, so down to 21k. Now that the context is in, we can flip to the lower time frame chart, daily here, and we go. Okay. Yeah, since the POC are here, before I go to recap of all the count we have, maybe new ones, we can see several things. Come on. Oh yeah, it is locked, that's why. We can see that we rejected pretty strongly from the mid high volume node, which is the POC at the moment on Bybit. What can we expect after this? Well, simply to tag the lower one at least. That's what I would expect. Now we have two high volume nodes into this 40-30 area. So maybe we find support here. I mean, we have count to have confidence for this, that give confidence for this. So it's a possibility. Now let's recap what are the major mid-term frame count here. All of this to finish wave 4 of the macro 5, as I set the context in. A flat potentially here. You know, it's not my favorite count, it's a scenario 1 here, but it's not my favorite, especially because wave 2 is really small compared to the wave 4 here. But nonetheless, it's still correct, so we'll see. We'll need to be able to read 5 waves down to finish the 5th. We have target here on a log scale down to 26k. If I flip to a linear scale, it could come down to the 20k here. That's the target for this 5th in yellow. Scenario 2, one I prefer a lot more proper, clean. Wave C will be extended in time, but you know, if I take the length of wave B, can take twice the time of wave B, it's still okay. So it's a long wave C, long in terms of time, but it's correct. And it's pretty clean in my opinion. We have an ABC here, zigzag for wave 1. It's a particularity of ending diagonal here. So for this count, I will expect wave 3 to be smaller than wave 1, and in that case, wave 5 to be smaller than wave 3. I really love that one because it allows us to, you know, to grab a lot of liquidity. It's a really bullish pattern. Reaction after something like this could be really strong. Anyway, it will be strong. And we're gonna bull run that for sure. But you know, it allows to take liquidity below that low for the wave 3, get a nice bounce, as there will be liquidity below, already below here, but below that low even more, because there is stop, because there is fear, because there is everything. So yeah, that occurrence, like I have to foresee, I will expect wave 3 to stop above the low of last year. To give a nice bounce after taking this liquidity, and then the last leg down that will take the stop of this low and this stop below the 30k. And yeah, pretty sure there will be a lot of fear if this happens. So that's kind of what you want to see, want to plan as a bull. Where is the Max Payne scenario quote? But I think that one have a good potential for it. Scenario 3, kind of similar, just an similar and different, just an alternative. Let's say we still have to finish the flat, but as a WXY. Here, wave X could really be done here, and we will be on our way for wave Y. We just need to finish cleanly five waves down here. It could, yeah, what was the mean after? But it could also take another high here before doing this. We'll see the sub count for this. Scenario 4. It means that the low is in. We have potentially another high and another consolidation, another retrace, but we will not breach that low we had in January. Scenario 5. Simply, scenario 5, wave 4 is in, and we have started our big macro wave 5 already. I had a sub count originally that I talked about, because for me this was really complicated to read. I mean, for me and for most Elliotticians, I believe. But yeah, the most simple when it's complicated, it's to go for a 1-2-1-2 like I did here. Now, we're really getting close to invalidation. As soon as we go below that low and that one, it will be invalidated. But I've been a new idea coming out, and that idea is at flat. Where is it? 3, 4, and 5 sub ID. Okay, so the idea here is just that we have wave 1 here, and all of this is part of wave 2. Has a flat, an A, a B, and a C. For this, again, we need to finish 5 waves. And then, if that's the case, that means we could see a really, really strong move out of it. Probably a strong wave 1 again, 2, and then fly out. And as you see, this scenario, we have 1 A or W, 2 B or X, because this idea of a flat work with many several counts. In fact, I can set this minor, I guess it's enough. ABC. Scenario 3, for example, WXY. That's what I said. The X could be finished already here, but could be extended again. Extended, I mean, making another high here. And all of this, yeah, make a W, X, and a Y on A, B, and a C, because X can be both. The difference being, just do we do a zigzag here, or do we finish this with 5 waves? Probably 5, as it would fit the bullish count, and if it is a bootstrap, we should see a nice impulse move. And scenario 4, triangle. Yeah, that's the one that works best for the triangle here. Already said triangle could say wave D is finished here, but really, if we are in a triangle, I think it's fair to assume we have another move to come to finish wave D. Saying, looking for harmony in all of this. What makes most sense? There's a lot of comments. Let me take this. Can I move the comment on the other side here? Yeah. When 100k, it's not 100k. We are looking for 200k, guys, or 180 at least. Soon, soon enough, I want to say. We really have no need for us to go too fast. Look like we got the backtest earlier. What are you through on the algo bots? You just running this whole show seems so mechanical to me. Yeah, there's a lot of things to say about bots. Okay, you're talking about your trades, guys. Good. You know, trading is, yeah, I don't want to say mainly, but for sure it's been run by algorithm. But that's also why we saw so much harmony and regularity into, even when it seems to be chaotic, it's really because it's run by algo. I mean, when you can trade the golden pockets time and time again, it's just because there is algo trading this. But there is algo on every time frame from a lot of different people. There is a lot of algorithms that lose a lot of money really quick. So it doesn't necessarily mean much. I mean, at the end of the day, algo are being programmed by human and inherent to human mistakes and even sentiment. So when we are able to read to find an algo pattern, we can just trade along it when it is a successful one, obviously, and take advantage of it. And you can even find an algo that trade for you. But that's all. Maybe the lower time frame is more controlled by algorithm than the higher time frame, because higher time frame is controlled more by the supply and demand. So the algorithm can do whatever it wants, but if there is more demand than supply, price will over time grow. And the opposite, if there is more supply than demand. I mean, that's my opinion. Triangle will not make people too fearful, not much liquidity in this pattern. Yeah, that's true. It's all depend. Are we already into enough fear? Is there already a lot of demand from, especially from big players, because that are the ones that are positioning in all this range? I mean, we know the really big players, MicroStrategy, StatCounter here, and Tesla here, at least for the public one, have been early adopters, early institution coming in on the previous bull run, but yeah, they'll lead this run just by the two of them. I mean, and other, but mainly publicly. And now for the past year, there have been so much things built, so much new gateway to enter the market for everybody, institution, but also retail. I mean, banks, every bank's proposing to enter the market, all the new tools that are being developed by, I don't know, Fidelity and all the big name around there. So I strongly believe they are positioning here in this range. If there's enough, or if there's too much big player trying to position, each attempt to find lower liquidity will be met by another big player that doesn't mind buying at a higher price. So it's like a big player selling huge stack to try to push down price down and buy back lower. But if somebody else is slowly, silently buying that stack, the attempts just don't succeed and had to buy back immediately or at higher price. And that's what could lead to a triangle consolidation. As you know, with everything that is happening in the world, I think, yeah, we have the, I don't know if it's chances, but there is a high probability, I want to say, that we will break that 30k. Where was it? The other one, yeah, go here, and here we go. I like the idea of being in a wave 2 now. Just my spot order don't like that so much. Yeah, I would prefer us to stay a bit longer here, just to be, you know, well packed with a fat stack to enjoy the run just on the side. I mean, it will probably be quite easy to trade long than its dips when it start to go, but at the same time, you know, when it start to go, you tend to have really big dips, so it's quite hard to catch the low, and so you cannot use the same kind of leverage. But well, we always find a way. Position. So where I am I? I mean, honestly, I think this is the count I like the most. We'll see how this develops. It's taking a bit of time here to come down. There is a lot of absorption, I believe. I didn't have the time to check every on-chain data, but it feels like right now we are just on the edge of this could really get another like 20% move up, or yeah, 20% move down. So what I saw on Twitter, people seeing Confluence for a bottom right now here, and other finding Confluence for a big drop soon, and saying how we have been in this range for quite a long time. It's not the cleanest range you want, but it's a range nonetheless here. I've been, yeah, a third of a year. And you see it's quite rare to get so long of a range. So we kind of need probably gonna see some conclusions. And now, what did I miss? This is just alternative Yeah, there's several alternative counts to say we have a finished corrective move here, but we already know it is one now. Why it is laggy? Why is it laggy? It's okay. Of course, I mean, could also be something else I'm not saying. I know I talked about only one count on the macro one. I'm staying with it because it is looking so clean and not everybody looking at it, but I see, yeah, little reason to see anything else. I'm not even seeing volume to suggest a stronger impulse, but maybe could we have an ABC move? It's the same, it brings us to 20k anyway. So the alternative count I could think about, yeah, bring us 20k. Alternatively, if we were to lose 20k, you know, invalidation is 14k, but maybe in that case I will say, okay, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this was the 5th, and all of this become wave 1 of the macro 5, and then we go for some kind of correction here, like this, back down to 10k. But I'm really not feeling this. Just saying that technically here, theory, I think we shouldn't spend much time below or go too much below 30k. Is there a spring? So go back up really quickly. I could see a bit of a range, a bit like we saw during that time, like a deviation, and go back up. But if I start to see too much weakness here, I will say, okay, we have volume in that range. Now we are losing that range. Well, go back up, go back down to the next high volume node simply. Naturally, emphasize, I'm not feeling that scenario. I'm feeling this is accumulation, not distribution. And especially considering all the news, all the stuff that have been built by the professional, by the industry, all the work along with politicians to make a legal framework, all the things happening with the, I guess we can call it the World War III, which is part military but part economic. All the disturbance we are seeing, it seems not reasonable but sensible to believe that crypto should rise on this. If there is a moment where it should show it can succeed, it should be now. I mean now, today, but yeah, in this context, in this sad context. Oh, for example, pull a 1-to-1 from the high of 26 April, then to the low of 26, I don't know what, then the high from the 28, this is low time frame. Look where we are now. I mean, for scalp trader like myself, it's perfect. Okay, you're talking really low time frame. So fib extension tool. Yeah. For me, the problem with this is just I don't. I mean, no, it's not a problem. I mean, for a scalper, surely you got a good level with this. I guess there's other confluences. Default 707. But I mean, well, I was about to say a problem. When I pull a fib like this and look to the 0618, I like when the high has been taken, so it can be a flat. And I like flat a lot. I mean, we see a lot of flat in Bitcoin. And so the 0618 become a really nice target in a running flat. But when we don't take the high, I expect us to go to the 1-1 extension. But it doesn't mean we cannot get a trade to the POC or even to the daily. Honestly, I try to count this. So, yeah, your way of trading is probably better for this slow time frame here. Sometime Elliott wave on a 5-minute, 15-minute is really nice, and sometime when you got stuff like this, it's really hard to make sense. You have an impulse move here, you have an impulse move in the opposite direction that takes a low. Doesn't make sense. So this become most likely some kind of corrective move. I'm hardly seeing this as leading something. We have again growing volume on the way down, especially when we had the same thing here, but yeah, you compare this candle to this one, the two volume, we have a bit more volume, like 30% more, but the effect, the advance down is a lot more, so it's going down even more easy than it was here, even easier than it was here. It's not looking really strong to me. We have a bit of bullish divergence. We are retesting the low of the range. Value area low. Yeah, I wanted to go over yeah, the lower time frame counts rest on the 1 hour, 4 hour chart. And I'm sorry again, I don't have an answer here. Unfortunately, I mean, I put the 5 here, but I don't understand how we can count 5 waves on that move. If you have a count that work, I would gladly take it. or look at it live. And I've been doing so many things today. I didn't have. I tried to find a account for this, but didn't get the time to get things clear on this. And I kind of want to say we have some kind of sideway range. I don't understand. My mouse is getting laggy, but my computer is not over. It's looking good. I don't know what's going laggy. Maybe the new 4K. GPU is fine. Proc is fine. Memory is fine. Okay. Never mind. So I was saying I'm seeing this as a range for now. I think it's best way to look at it. It feels more distributional than accumulation. In fact, I said the wave 4 here because we had a really nice cans at work out as a flat here that I shared last week, I think. So we had a nice flat, something that looked again like a nice impulse move, so it worked well flat. But maybe we have 4 on a 5 here, like I was originally think about. And it means that we have an impulse move finished here. And we are in one of the bearish counts that doesn't look to take that high. And so here we are in some kind of corrective move before continuing down. We don't have a triangle. Oh, just thinking about something here. Not a triangle, but could this be an inverted triangle? A, B, C, D. It wouldn't need to get the sales straight from here, but we have an expanding range now. That's true. It seems a bit far to go for the high again. But that could mean an A, B, C, D, E. It will be a really long way for. Again. In that case, it could just be a B, and a C coming down. Just thinking out loud. SPX is filling the gap, or just fill depending on how you look at it. Battery almost empty unless you're working with cable. Well, in fact, I got a cable here because I forgot my mouse. So I got a crappy mouse right now. Maybe it's just that it's because it's a crappy cable mouse. My nice one is on the way. Get it soon. I really don't know what to get from this. I look at this 10 times. I said, okay, I got something else to work on, so finish the rest, but I cannot do because we have so much of a impulse move down, little retrace, and then little moves. So it doesn't fit for wave 3. The only way it fits is a 1, 2, and we got a 3 coming down here. 4 and a 5. But then what do we have? I mean, maybe the then we know that the target for the 5th is coming not a lot more down than here. Yeah, we are bouncing from a golden pocket. Could we have a note? If it was contracting at least, but no, it is expanding also here. Okay, I will move on to something else. I mean, at some point we'll have a move that will say, okay, that's it's finished. For me, I mean, I said I was more bearish and bullish into that locally into that trend, so I proposed a too short opportunity yesterday for the crew, which worked like really nicely. I didn't move anything. It just yeah, just worked perfectly. Now what to do with that? I mean, yeah, just continue to trade the range. In that case, for sure, is more here is more buy. It's buy more than a sell. You don't want to sell the bottom of the range. Just don't feel it really strong, so I will be prudent about it, especially knowing that invalidation remain below that low and seeing what it has been doing here. Not looking at Elliott wave, we just take the low and bounce and take the low again and bounce. It would be a bit stupid to give a trade like this that could do just this. And I'm not sure I will. But I would not expect another swing fair pattern. So no, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I guess trade to be taken is long. There is already the low I've been taken 3 times already in that range. So really, I don't think there is any reason to do another swing fair pattern. A strong move, I think if we do, there is high chances that this will break down significantly. At the same time, looking at the range, we got a show weakness. We have some kind of trend line here that is interesting, and we could still maybe on a 4 hour check something. No. I mean, a move here will probably take it still. I hardly see us trying to go that high here again, but maybe do we have another nice trend line? Maybe this one. It's not really a trend line, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Take the fib here, fib extension tool. Yeah. Maybe an A and B. Let's see. To the 1-1, to the golden bucket. And then go down. Still don't know what to do with that. But based on that range, that seems to be the most sensible. Value area high, golden pocket, 1-1 extension, we have a trend line. Even high volume node, a bit higher here, 6-6. I think I will stay with that plan for now. And of course, you know, each trade I took profit here, but I'm keeping a significant portion of my position open because I'm looking for more downside. In the same way, if I'm taking a long here, I would of course take profit here, but we'll keep apart in case we do here high. My patience is being tested a lot for my spot buying. Always wanted below 30k. I feel like BTC is boring everyone, making everyone buy, and then deep to 30k per speculation. That, in fact, good speculation. I mean, it's kind of the thing that we saw. Let me take a clean chart. Yeah, this is a kind of the thing we saw often. At least we saw it here. Getting boring, making slightly higher high, flush down. Well, here it was really in a downtrend, but we couldn't consider this as kind of boring. The kind of slow downtrend. We have a range. We have a trend line support and a flush. Well, it's really more like 2018. And before this, that was no liquidity. Or really in that range, it was more aggressive. But here it was getting boring. Tighter range, and flush. And a triangle consolidation, and you know that in Elliott wave, triangle is a continuation pattern, so you expect a high. And then you get flush, and about. But here you see boring, but you don't see a flush down. You see a move up. $35,600 give it. Would you be looking at SPX count to predict the most probable BTC count? Yeah, it's a good idea to look a bit at other stuff. SPX for sure, but there's other things. First, maybe. This is a chart made by not sure who, but apparently Bloomberg and Fidelity and Goldman Sachs. So I'm not sure what stock are being part of, but the lower chart is supposedly equities that are linked to Bitcoin, and you see they are breaking down. So it could be a sign of an imminent breakdown. You can see such weakness. This chart is getting messy. Need to work on this. Micro strategy. I mean, locally we didn't break down that range, but that's the low of summer last year, and we really broke down below it and still consolidating below. The worst one being Coinbase. The low we put summer last year, and yeah, that was the low of January, and still we're breaking down. So it really shows weakness to the market. Tesla is a bit less weak, but really is not as much impacted by BTC. Mara Digital Holding, you kind of see the same thing. No, the first stop. I mean, you organize a chart. We have the flat here, but we are breaking down on this one. We also have, GBTC, which is still trading at a discount. Kind of see an attempt to change this trend a bit. This is a premium indexes of GBTC, but it's still at minus 25% compared to its spot holding. And it has been important data I've been monitoring, and I want to see this going back to something more neutral, at least, or at least getting closer to the zero, to neutral. Signal me that we have an imminent move up. That's why I'm not really looking at this as a 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5 right now as my preferred count. CME is still holding the POC and holding a significant higher low. Should get an indicator for the premium discount of CME as well. I don't have it. Now SPX, or where is my count? Probably an ES, yes. Well, you see, I moved away for a bit lower here. Just to remind the higher degree count on SPX, yeah. To remind everybody what I'm been looking at, just inspired by Elliott Wave International, Robert Preacher. It's not I admit, I remade the count myself, but he has something similar. And he's looking at a lot more data than me, obviously. But the idea here on SPX is that we made our 1, 2, 3 here in the 2004, and we are in a fifth wave, macro fifth wave from the year 1871, which means we are going to correct more than 100 year, 150 year. Wait, yes, 150 year. Which means potentially a recession. I mean, a big recession for more than 10 years, potentially a lot more. What could lead this? Well, World War III. And stupid decision made by Occidental politicians, and resilience by the Asian Russian economy. But who I am to plan this? I mean, this seems stupid to me, but anyway, we are looking here at the fifth. I believe we still have locally. So the wave 4 being bottom of wave 4 being COVID crash low, and here we can flip on the lower time frame chart. The idea is try to count these 5 waves from the bottom here. Why did that move? No, okay, sorry, lost in my own count. Yeah, it is. Yeah, on the daily chart. So the idea here from me is that we are in a wave 4 still, so we still have 5 to come. Potentially, if we want to link this to Bitcoin, well, Bitcoin could do its also a macro fifth wave going to 180k, while SPX does its own. It's not impossible, it is finished already. And it's not impossible that Bitcoin totally decouple from US stock at some point. Just for now, it has been a lot for the past few years. So we assume it continue for now, and we'll try to find confluence in the counts for it, at least a bit. Now, you know, this kind of feel like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this like an A, B, C, which means A, B, C potentially. It seems there is another leg down to come. Not sure locally. We'll zoom in a bit in a minute. Yeah. Maybe I could pull a fib from the bottom of proposed wave 2. Template. Okay, we'll stay in linear. Two, 3, 6, 3, 2. 80% here. Can probably find a bit of confluence with a low. As I had before. Yes. cares? This with just one color to be okay. Volume node. And give me a second. Monthly. Here. That cluster here. Consolidation. Okay. So I don't have a nice confluence here. We see 0.618. Don't need it. Okay. But you know, I'm not a. I feel Bitcoin a lot more easy, a lot more than stocks when I do a yacht wave. But for me, that looked like an ABC. We could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially. Not incorrect. And this could be as well an ABC move, maybe. But for me, that's clearly what jumped on my highs. That's a correct expression in English, I don't know. An ABC here, and so 1, 1, 2. I will guess the 3 is not done yet, so I will say a 1, 2. I don't know where is a 1, 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe with wave 1, 2. It's getting wrong again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 3 is finished. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That would be really short. Five. Yeah. Nice question. Same goes for BTC CME chart. The fact that you're looking at such target on S&P makes me a bit scared for BTC. So how many % chance of recession you have? Yep, this is great. I mean, I don't know if I can do an estimation on this, but starting to see article talking about it. I mean, we're seeing inflation ramping up, interest rate ramping up. For now, dollar is moving up against at least the euro and Canadian and Occidental currency, but is starting maybe to go down against other. I didn't check everything. But at some point, if inflations don't stop to ramping up and interest rate as well, it means that people just cannot afford to get loan anymore. So if they don't get loans, there is just no more money being created. There is no more buying. And so there is inflation and price of stocks starting to go down, price of house going down, but inflation for energy and food, and so there is a lack of job, and it's getting bad for everybody, or at least most of the people, unless you are positioned to have an age on this and you are already rich, so you don't really have a problem to feed yourself or have a roof above your head. So anyway, but everything seems to be getting that way. We have been expecting it for years, and everything we are saying for the last few years, it just seems to be confirming. And you know, when there's too much money, too much high stocks, too much debt for countries, I don't know, it seems that in history, often the result of it is a big war. And I'm not sure how we're gonna avoid it. I don't know how it will be, but yeah, probably the war is not good for people's economy. It's fine for people that got energy and control the food and have, sell weapon and stuff, but for the average people, it's not nice. Recession is so obvious that get me pretty slow. Yeah, I mean, that could be the thing. We are setting everything up. We could see another big flush that make everybody scared. We have every data to say it's the end, and then you got your final big 5 waves, extra extended, that squeeze every short, that will probably be fueled by shorts, in fact. That's also the difference with previous recession. It's now there is a lot of tools to make money on the downside, so it make price go up even more because people are short seller for probably good reason, and so you can just push price up for them to buy above. Everything is pointing downwards. I strongly believe a strong flush is long overdue. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's looking probable. But you know, as well, now locally, as we have potentially 5 waves down, finished, on the way to be finished, if at some point I will find something here, but yeah, as we may have 5 waves down, it means that we can have a really big bounce as well. And you know, just a bounce up to value area high from where we are is already a 15% move up. And if we get another move down before it, maybe down to the 1-1 extension, it's potentially a 21% move up. So it could do this, and this. And I'm pretty sure if I'm pulling a fib here, TC pocket, if we go down to the 1-1 extension, I got the local fib. Where is my Here we go. Weekly level down here, potentially. Knowing that we have an extra confluence for this level as a magnet. I really don't know how this will play as a fifth, but yeah, keep focus. We have another, yeah, confluence for this. It's on the other chart, weekly chart. We have the 50% level of the weekly candle here that has not been tested yet this week. 50% of this demand week. I have confluence with a weekly level at 36,300 about. That's really where I would prefer to be a buyer. As you know, as long as we're making higher heights, it's not stupid to want to long here. We are at POC, we are at support, we are making higher highs. We took liquidity several times. We have a lot of fear. We have bullish divergence here. In fact, we have even, as a trend have been lost, but even 4 hour, 12 hour, we have a trend here with bullish divergence, reversal divergence. Daily, we have a dirty one. Or is this a dirty divergence? Because it's really in the middle of nowhere. It's not coming from oversold, but we have oversold MFI. But you can see, maybe I can make it a bit more visible here. And you know, oversold MFI, the last time on the daily was this low, and the previous one, well, was here. But we have divergence between this low and this low on MFI. Maybe that's what we will be doing here again. Nice MFI divergence coming between here and here. I'll be honest, I'm not trading a lot. I have not been trading a lot for the past few weeks. I'm just taking a few trades here and there, taking profit quickly, just, yeah, like Taurus do the best, you know. Trades a low time frame based on your level and volume and TPO chart, and that's the best you can do in such environment. Really, this is again, it happened too much, I feel. I don't know, 50 minutes, it's normal. It's again a nightmare for Yotishin to count such things that we are having here. So we have to wait for clarity in this occurrence. For Elliott wave, I mean. In the meantime, yeah, you trade what the market is giving you. Take profit. Personally, keeping like stupid for a bull to say this, but I'm keeping more exposure to shorts than my longs. I'm taking more profit on my longs than I'm taking on my shorts. Also because I'm spot long. I'm like almost full on Bitcoin. Don't have much fiat on the side. So that's also why I like to keep a nice short position to hedge my spot position. But at some point, I will say I'm bullish, and I'm taking profit on my longs, but I'm keeping a lot open because I feel we are going higher. It is not yet that time. Hopefully it will happen soon. I mean, we have been here for already longer than I was expected. No, that I was expecting. Can the bones be really shallow? Asking Jenny. Yeah, of course. You know the account I've been talking about. Can take the default. You could even add the 236 here. Let me deactivate a few level here, or even everything. Just keep that one. Depending when we are and what count we are doing, but if we are in a bearish one, we have either wave 1 down, either wave A. And we're looking, it's either at a wave 2, either a wave B. Or it can be a WX as well, because you know, if we are in that count, WXY, I base this on a zigzag here for the X to the Y, but it could be a WXY or a WXYXZ, a more complex stuff. But anyway, the thing is, the bounce I'm expecting here, I'm looking for bounce up to value high potentially, but it could just stay at the 236. I would expect to go sideways for a bit in that case. I would not expect like this being just wave 1, 2 or wave A, B. Where is my tool here? Just like this and go like this. If that was the case, I would expect the range to last a bit more compared to, you know, just taking the length of the downtrend. Trend. I'm expecting to last at least 50% of the time. At least at minimum for the most conservative thing. And straight 2 is reasonable to expect. We'll take the high here. That's something, yeah, definitely something I could see, because if you know, there is a level I've been looking at for months now. It is a 41,800 confluence of POC here, high volume node, and weekly order block. And so we already tested it, so I'm not sure we'll take that high. And considering the range as a Wyckoff stuff, I mean, it's already a high EUT if it's distributional. So retest here is okay. It's not impossible to have a UTAD above this high. Still testing, for example, the area of the preliminary support. But it is still it remains a key area, so I would not be surprised if it stay resistance and we don't see a price above. But you see how it also gives nice trade. You have your golden pocket with value high. Above that high, you know there is liquidity above it. Yeah. I agree with everything you say, but I don't understand Elliott waves. There's so many ways to pull them up. You take quick profit spin the way, yeah, that's for sure. You know, yeah, Elliott wave. It's really it has been a really useful tool for me to understand the market, how it behaves, how it goes. And I believe it's really powerful to make prediction of several scenarios. But sometimes it's super simple to trade from it. You have everything going cleanly, easily, respecting the guidelines, and sometimes it getting complicated, and you have to be able to help yourself with to use other tools to trade and make your decision and take a step back from the Elliott wave. So your Elliott wave mind doesn't block you from making good decision or making you take bad decision. But overall, it is a really powerful tool. And I don't know if you are in the crew, Ranito. There is an Elliott wave series that I made for the correct row, so if you didn't watch it, I recommend. Even the first lesson is really interesting because there is something in Elliott wave that is based not only on the fib and numbers and rules like this, but also on the market psychology behind it. And that's where it becomes really powerful, knowing what a fifth wave is. What does it mean? I don't find it. Yeah. You're welcome, Ronick. Always a pleasure. Jenny is new to Elliott wave, but is getting really good. Yeah, you are. You have been making really nice chart, or maybe you find accounts somewhere else, but for some, but even if you find them somewhere else, the fact that you find the nice one is already a proof. And you find accounts that I didn't think about it, especially when I was on holidays. So it helped me. Welcome, Renito. Welcome, everybody. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna finish this stream here. I'm gonna slowly ramping up the work I'm doing here. Account and analysis. There is a lot of data I'm missing still. So I wanted to do a better stream today, but I have also other things to do at home, so kind of being overloaded with work. Anyway, I will ramping up in the coming days, weeks, and we'll have nice opportunity coming up, and I'm sure my mind will become a lot clearer really soon. And touch wood, I will get back my mojo for prediction. Right now we can see, just for an extra data before I leave, magic spreads, it is mostly green. It's not hugely, slightly, there's not a lot of volume. And we know that Bitfinex some whales at Bitfinex have been loading up 5,000 5,000 Bitcoin to be sold at market at some point, most likely. So planning for some kind of dump. You can monitor this wallet, bitinfochart.com/bitcoin/wallet bitfinex code wallet important. And if you see large output like this going from code wallet to hot wallet, usually it means there will be a sell. So 5,000 is significant. If you start to see 10,000 Bitcoin, you can be pretty sure there will be a big dump soon enough. It doesn't mean he cannot get a big bounce. Even here, it doesn't mean it can't go above here before dumping. They could be selling on the way up. They could be selling the liquidity above. I don't know. But here I will assume that it will not take that high. I will assume that we will reserve that range now. Yeah, it's getting. SPX is closing the gap. It's closed already. At the gap you're all talking about, right? I don't understand, the chart is always messy. Maybe I should look at SPX instead. Okay. Oh, and someone talked about CME. No, there is no gap. Luckily. We have a gap above us. And isn't this confluence with the ID of a trade here? Close that gap into the golden bucket. I don't know if it's golden bucket and CME. Yes, it is. Let's see. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for participating. I hope this was interesting, helpful. Will help you make good decision and not be stressed about your trading. I will be back real soon, at least on Monday for the group. And in the meantime, trade safe. Don't forget, the only thing you control in the market is how much you lose, so risk management is key. Thanks, everybody. Love you all.